Hello everyone, welcome to Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services. It's a video on daily news and editorial analysis, which I'll be covering from the Hindu and Indian Express. The important news and editorial that would be relevant for the preparation of civil services examination will be discussed in this session. Let's get started with the news topic list. Today is 1st of September. The first important news, that is Centre called for a special session of the Parliament. Something very important because there are various occasions when the session of the Parliament, or specifically the special session of the Parliament, is called upon. There's some specific point when government called for the special session. We'll see why for this time government has called for the special session of the Parliament. Second, that is India sees the lowest rainfall in August. This is what in this century. The report that has been released by IMD, that is Indian Meteorological Department. Third, that is ONDC, a pivotal force to set and enhance the digital commerce, something it has played a very important and crucial role when it comes to the part of enhancing the digital e-commerce. Second last, that is other Asian countries has rejected the part of China's new map. India has categorically said that the standard map which was released by the government of China, India completely denied the fact. Now the last is an editorial, omissions of disability related questions from the National Family Health Survey 6. Something very important that will give you an insight why the part of the disability data was not into consideration and why it is essential to consider the fact that disability is a ground reality, is a brutal reality for a country like India. So we'll make the discussion on that regard also. Apart from the news and editorial discussion, at the end of this video, there will be MCQ based questions. These questions will be based on current affairs that will help you for the upcoming examination. So without any further ado, let's get started. And before I begin the session, if you're new to our channel, do not forget to subscribe Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services on YouTube. If you like this video, if you find this video informative and helpful, do hit that like button. And before I begin, I would like to tell you about the Nishchay program, that is All India Test Series program. This will help the aspirant who will be appearing for the prelims 2024. Through this program, that is an All India Test Series program, will be providing 4900 plus questions. Along with that, there will be a video discussion on the given topic. You will be also provided with a demo test and free magazine that will have a content enrichment in a part of your preparation. For more details, you can refer to our websites. If you want to register directly, there's a QR code which is provided. You can scan this and register for the courses, right? The fees are mentioned below. You can directly reach out to the part of the numbers that is given. For further clarification, we're always there to help you. Now, starting the session, the first news, that is Centre called for a special session of the Parliament, something important for General Studies paper 2, that is Parliament and State Legislature, structure, functions, conduct of businesses, power and privileges, and issues arising from it. Now, as I stated in the beginning of the discussion, that there are not several occasions when Union government announced the special session of the Parliament, कुछ ऐसे exceptional cases होते हैं जिस टाइम पे यूनियन गवर्नमेंट स्पेशल सेशन ऑफ पार्लियामेंट के लिए अनाउंसमेंट करती है. दिस टाइम दे हैव कम अप विद द अनाउंसमेंट एंड द गवर्नमेंट हैज कैटेगोरिकली स्पोकन दैट there will be a 5-day session which will start from September 18 till 22 of 2023, that is for this month, that there will be a session, special session of the Parliament. This is coming, अगर बात करें इसकी इंसेप्शन की, this is coming after the G20 summit which is being held in India. This time India is the current chair for G20 और इंडिया की G20 के जो venue है that is there in New Delhi, specifically in the Pragati Maidan area in New Delhi, right? So India is continuing with the part of G20 presidency till November 2023, right? Now this become important for you to understand why this special session was actually being announced. So the special session of the Parliament that is announced, this is something which is a 17th Lok Sabha session. और इसकी अगर बात करें सेशन की, दिस इज 261 of the Rajya Sabha having the 5 sitting. The special session could be a parliamentary operation that can be shifted to a new building. तो ये basically formal announcement की गई है that this special session will take place in the new parliament building which was recently inaugurated by the Prime Minister of the country. Now, first such special session, if you see the present government, the NDA government, they are coming with the first of its kind of the special session. The upcoming session will be the first of such special session under 9 years of the NDA-led government. Earlier, इससे पहले government ने एक joint session बुलाया था for Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha to mark the midnight GST rollout in June 2017. So this was not actually the special session. This was rather the joint session between the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha, right? Generally, 3 parliament session होती हैं इंडिया के parliamentary session procedures के मुताबिक. This goes first with the budget session, right? That start with the financial year. Before the financial year is there. Monsoon session and again the winter session. So these are the 3 sessions which actually take place in the parliament. Now possible area of discussion की अगर बात करें जो इस बार गवर्नमेंट ने स्पेशल सेशन बनाई है, there will be some specific area and highlights that will be given. The first call for the reservations of women in the directly elected legislative assemblies and even for the Lok Sabha, right? So there will be this part that will be taken care of. Recent historic success of the Chandrayaan 3 mission and India's goal for Amrit Kal. So these are the time till 2047. India is aiming to achieve high targets and ensure that Amrit Kal is making the best possible prosperity for the citizen of this country. Now, apart from this, some concern has been raised by the opposition. See, when it comes to the part of government making, opposition play a very important role in their functioning. So, opposition leaders ने कहा है the way that the session was announced through a social media post without a proper notification is something which is not justified and which is not as per the norms and standard of the due parliamentary procedures. This is what the concern has been raised. और शिवसेना के कुछ अपोजिशन मेंबर्स ने ये भी कहा है that the session dates are clashing with the part of Ganesh Chaturthi, which is something government has not taken care of. See, the member representation is there from across the India, and some sentiment, the religious sentiment is something which is intact to each and every individual. तो वहाँ पे भी ध्यान देने की जरूरत है. These are the concern that was specifically highlighted by the member of the opposition party. Now moving ahead, India see the lowest August rainfall in the century, something important for General Studies paper 1. You can count this as the important point for the General Studies paper 1. That is important geophysical phenomena such as earthquake, tsunami, volcanic activity and cyclone. Recently, data compiled की गई है by the Indian Meteorological Department, better known as IMD, and they have said that India is witnessing the dirtiest in August. More than a century इससे पहले इस तरह की चीजें नहीं देखे गए थे, and it has received only 36% of the rainfall than the normal year in 2023. So this kind of the thing has been seen in this century. That has not happened earlier. And as per the data, the country has received 10% lower rainfall than the normal, which is from June 1st till August 31st. The monsoon, which is very vital for the Indian economy, we are targeting for close to $5 trillion economy, right? 5 trillion की बात की गई है. To achieve this, currently India is a 3 trillion, almost close to $3 trillion economy. तो वहाँ पे rainfall play a very important and crucial role because 70% of the rain India needs to water farms and relief reservoir and aquifers. Farmers के लिए काफी ज़्यादा important है. When the rainfall will not be proper, it will ultimately increase or surge the part of the food item prices, which will invariably call for the high inflation in the country. Now, geographical phenomena की अगर बात करें, how does the thing work? What are the part of the thing that is not working feasibly for this 2023? बात करें strengthening of El Nino. This I have already made a discussion about the part. El Nino के effect के वजह से और कुछ unfavorable Arabic Seas में जो conditions बनी है, that has resulted with the less rainfall, which is marked in August, right? And सिर्फ नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न इंडिया को अगर छोड़ के देखें तो पूरे इंडिया में लगभग इम्पैक्ट देखने को मिली. El Nino refers to the warming of the Central Pacific that usually translate to the deficit monsoon rainfall over the country. I think if you have read NCERT well, you must be aware of the fact. Now, Himalayan states, another part of Tamil Nadu, shows the data that Indian Meteorological Department has. They have come up with the data that कुछ Himalayan states में or parts of Tamil Nadu has also witnessing the part of the downturn and the part of the variability that is there as well. Now, when you come to the part of data with earlier rainfall, the last time India has recorded the severe deficit in August was in 2005. Now, in 2023, we have seen that such deficit is evidential. And the shortfall for 25% of the normal dip in 2009. So, you can relate the part. Or अगर droughts की बात करें, this was there, rainfall for 25% less than the normal. If you're writing specifically in mains examination and if you have geography as an option, तो आप comparatively वहाँ पे ये चीज़ों को बता सकते हैं. In August, It proud that the national deficit is for 10%, with the regional deficit of 17% in each northeastern India and 10% in central India, 17% in the southern India. So these are the specific data that will help you specifically in the mains examination answer writing. Now, moving ahead, ONDC pivotal role to set up enhancing the part of digital commerce, something very important for the General Studies paper 2 paper in the mains, that is government policies and intervention for the development of various sectors and issues arising from a design and implementation. This particular news is also important for General Studies paper 3 per se, where Indian economy and issues related to it is mentioned. So the Open Network for the Digital Commerce, which is also known as ONDC, has emerged as a transformative initiative by the Government of India to revolutionize the part of digital commerce landscape. So digital commerce landscape could transform करने के लिए government has come up with the ONDC initiative, and ONDC holds a tremendous potential for nurturing hyper-local digital commerce environment. This word is very important, hyper-local digital commerce environment. If you're writing in mains, make sure you specifically mention and highlight or underline this point. Now, by leveraging the technology, collaborations होंगी that will also call for inclusion. ONDC की aim है to empower the businesses and consumer with a driving economic activity innovations across the country. Now, what are the other important points that ONDC take care for? I mean, if you look at the part, ONDC call for the transparent rule, right? It has a lightweight investment, lower cost for the business acquisitions, and lower time to market and time to scale. So these are the part where it call for inclusivity, interoperability, discoverability, and the scalability, right? So these are the major point that you need to take into consideration when it comes to the part of ONDC. Now, Deloitte की एक white paper release हुई है. This white paper has come up with the part जहाँ पे ये बताया गया that ONDC will be a pivotal force in enhancing the India's digital commerce sector, which is projected to touch at 350 billion by 2030. And ONDC framework, building India's digital public infrastructure, the parents as an opportunity for businesses in all sizes to connect and transact with seamless, that was observed in the paper. Now, if you look at the part for the contributions on agriculture front, ONDC एक काफ़ी important role अदा कर सकती है. They have the farmers that could gain direct access to buying the farm produce organization, and it can establish a direct connection with the potential client bypassing the intermediaries. So the middleman which is there will definitely be ruled out. So middlemen rule out की जा सकती है इसके through. And even the integration optimize the value chain, the facilitating the part of the stakeholder as per the study. And present e-commerce represent that 4.3% of the retail commerce are there in India. Now, what is ONDC? I'll just give you the brief idea about ONDC. ONDC एक freely accessible market है that is backed and aim to जो democratizations है e-commerce की उसके through, and it will have to promote a platform-centric model that has an open network for buying and selling of the goods and services. Under ONDC, it is envisaged that the buyer register in one platform. अगर आप example ले Amazon की, may purchase the good from the other seller participating in the other e-commerce site, that is Flipkart. So this is how it actually works. There is no obligations of the gateway or the platform that an individual is restricted with. So he can choose any one or either of them as per his choice. Now moving ahead, other Asian country reject China's new map, something important for General Studies paper 2. Effect of policies and politics for developed and developing countries on India's interest and India's diaspora. So the Chinese government has recently released their 2013 editions of the Standard Map of China, which continues to show the entire state of Arunachal Pradesh, Askai Chain region as a part of their border, right? I have already made a discussion to this regard, जहाँ पे मैंने आपको बताया था किस तरह से अरुणाचल प्रदेश और अस्काई चीन के रीजन को भी चाइना ने अपने नए स्टैंडर्ड मैप में दिखाया है. नाउ सेवरल अदर कंट्रीज, अगर बात करें एशियन कंट्रीज लाइक फिलीपींस, मलेशिया, वियतनाम, ताइवान, दे हैव आल्सो ज्वाइंड इंडिया और उन्होंने भी इस पर्टिकुलर मैप को रिजेक्ट किया. सो दिस इज चाइना, द कंट्री वियतनाम, मलेशिया, Indonesia, and Taiwan, they have categorically rejected. Even Philippines is the part of that. The Chinese Ministry of Natural Resources, जिन्होंने इस particular map को release किया था, they have also said that the 9 dash line, you can see these are the 9 dash line, which is again important, and this has been the controversial point. So these line are the 9 dash line, right? So the 9 dash line supposedly to be the China's boundary with the South China Sea, and South China Sea is again one which is again a controversial. रिस्पॉन्स बाय इंडिया एंड फिलीपींस की अगर बात करें, इंडिया हैज़ लॉन्च प्रोटेस्ट। द मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ एक्सटर्नल अफेयर्स ने इस रीजन को और इस नए मैप को कैटेगोरिकली रिजेक्ट किया है। द एक्सटर्नल अफेयर्स मिनिस्ट्री हैज़ कम्प्लीटली रिजेक्टेड एंड सेड दैट्स नो बेसिस ऑन द मैप दैट हैज़ बीन रिलीज। फिलीपींस के गवर्नमेंट ने भी इसे रिजेक्ट किया। दे हैव सेड दैट द स्टैंडर्ड मैप still is worthy of the Philippines features with the Western Philippines Sea. And Philippines therefore called for China to act responsibly and abide by the obligations of UNCLOS and find the binding with 2016 Arbitral Award which was there, right? So if you have a PSIR as an optional subject, अगर आपकी PSIR optional है तो आप ये सारे points को highlight कर सकते हैं. Now moving ahead with the editorial of the day, omissions of the disability related questions from the National Family Health Service 6, something important for General Studies paper 2, that is the welfare schemes for the vulnerable section of the population by the center and the state government. So what I'll be discussing under this editorial, see, the disability and concern has been highlighted. This is specifically with regards to the National Family Health Service 6, right? And I'll make you understand with some of the important issues like disability in NFHS 6, concept of invisible disability, क्या क्या concern raise की गई हैं, regular data collections कैसे की जाती हैं, and what are the challenges, strategy for New India 75, this is specifically by Niti Aayog, right, and the way forward. So in May, the government has decided to omit the disability related questionnaires from the 6th round of the National Family Health Survey. Now, this decision of omissions has raised concern by the expert and the part of the individual which is there with the disability related issues. The decision seems to have been taken on the counting of the fact जहाँ पे person with disability approximately 2.21% है country के total population की, which is mounting up to 2.68 crore people as per the census of 2011. Now these numbers are underrepresented today, owing not only for the population surge but also since their representation is only 7 defined categories तक ही है. डिसेबिलिटीज़ के जो कैटेगरीज हैं गवर्नमेंट ने सिर्फ 7 कैटेगरीज को डिफाइन किया है एंड द रिप्रेजेंटेशन विच शुड बी गिवन इज नॉट देयर. सो देयर इज अंडर रिप्रेजेंटेशन ऑफ द पार्ट ऑफ डिसेबिलिटी और इसके बाद ओमिट करने के बाद भी और ज़्यादा प्रॉब्लम बढ़ सकती है. डिसेबिलिटी इन द नेशनल फैमिली हेल्थ सर्वे की डेटा में NFHS सर्वे दैट इज कैरीड आउट इन एवरी 3 ईयर. दिस इज अगेन इंपॉर्टेंट. हर 3 सालों पे NFHS की डेटा रिलीज होती है, स्पेसिफिकली इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर प्रीलिम्स ऑल्सो, विद द कंट्री वाइड सैम्पलिंग टू कलेक्ट ऑन डेटा. That is for health. This is first count. Second is education. Third is nutrition. Fourth is mortality. And fifth is sanitation. These are the major factors. उसके अलावे और भी factors हैं जिन पे National Family Health Survey की डेटा को रिलीज की जाती है. The disability is one of the topic that is included in 2019-21 and the above. The reason for the omission is reported that the difficulty of the surveyor faced last time, that is processing for the accurate data. Now the concept of invisible disability है the 2021 statistical profile report which is documented at nearly 24 lakh person were affected from the mental health related illness. They fail to identify the knowledge and the concept of invisible disability. So these are the disability that we also need to recognize. And only symptoms which may comply with the part of invisible disability are alluded with the part of mental retardedness, mentality problems and many other problems that is existing. कंसर्न क्या क्या रेस की गई है डिस्पाइट द पैसेज ऑफ द बेसिकली द डीके 2021 में जब ये 2011 में सेंसस हुई द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया अंडर द MOSPI हैज रिपोर्टेड दैट द पर्सन विद डिसेबिलिटी एक स्टैटिकल प्रोफाइल रिलीज की गई थी वेयर 8 कैटेगरीज ऑफ डिसेबिलिटी वर आइडेंटिफाइड. दैट फेल्स टू एक्नॉलेज 21 कैटेगरीज व्हिच इज एज ऑफ नाउ 21 कैटेगरीज ऑफ डिसेबिलिटीज हैं एज पर द लॉ एंड द इनैक्टमेंट ऑफ द राइट ऑफ पर्सन डिसेबिलिटी एक्ट 2016. Now, regular data collections की अगर बात करें, this is also a big problem. The need for regular data collection is significant not only for meeting the Sustainable Development Goal, but also for compliances with the United Nations Conventions on Right of Person with a Disability. Section 28 or 27 of the Right to Person with Disability Act mandates that the government to promote research and formulation of the scheme and empower the person with a disability. Section 25 call for surveys, investigations, disability-centric research by the government. स्ट्रैटेजी फॉर न्यू इंडिया 75 ये नीति आयोग की तरफ से एक रिपोर्ट रिलीज की गई जहाँ पे एक विजन सेट की गई है फॉर द पार्ट ऑफ द गोल्स दैट नीड टू बी रिकॉग्नाइज्ड चैलेंजिंग द lack of details data, crafting the policies of the person with disability. The recent report highlights that pressing need for inclusive measurement for transit beyond the handrails, ramp and tactical flooring is required for integral policy aspects. Now the way forward, activist ने बहुत important चीज़ों पे highlight करने की बात की, where data collection for the NFSSR is very valuable, और इस वैल्यू डेटा की ये होगी कि जो SDG के गोल्स हैं वो वनरेबल्स ग्रुप को अचीव करने के लिए मदद करेंगे. दैट व्हाट इज द एग्जैक्ट कंडीशंस. द ड्रॉपिंग ऑफ द डिसेबिलिटी रिलेटेड क्वेश्चनियर इज समथिंग दैट हैज टू बी कंसिडर्ड. SDG के जो टारगेट हैं वो हमें 2030 तक अचीव करना है, एंड दैट टू अचीव दैट वी डेफिनेटली रिक्वायर द रियल टाइम डेटा. In the particularly regulation part, signatory India is signatory to the part of right to person with disability और SDG के article 31 को भी अदर करने की जरूरत है. NFS is collecting the part of the broad data, that is the health status, health services, access to sanitation, domestic violence. ये सारी चीज़ों को कंसिडर करके एक ब्रॉड पॉलिसी बनाने की जरूरत है, सो दैट इट इज एक्चुअली हेल्पिंग आउट फॉर द पार्ट ऑफ द disabled categories of the citizen. Therefore, it is vital to include the disability in the questionnaire so that their rights, their grievances, their nuances is taken into considerations. Now moving ahead with the MCQ questions of the day. Before I proceed, just to tell you the answers of yesterday's questions. For first question, the correct option is C. For second question, the correct option is B. Today's MCQ for practice. That is the Central Bureau of Investigation. आपको CBI के बारे में बताना है. It's a statutory body established under the SPEB or Special Police Establishment Act. It's a nodal agency for coordinating with the government agency on the behalf of the member countries. It can take suo motu cases only in the cases of the union territory. So do check out for the correct option. Second is about the sugar industry. India is the largest producer and exporter of the sugar in the world. The government has been encouraging sugar mill to divert the sugar for ethanol blending. So do check out for the correct option. Practicing a lot more current affair question through our various social media platform will definitely help you to gauge extra edge on the examination. This was all about for the daily news and editorial analysis. If you have any other concern, queries about test series, program and admissions, you can reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to assist you. For time being, I'm signing off. Thank you so much for watching.